All right, let's go ahead and get started here. Well, good morning. My name is Mike Moe. I'm the Director of Tourism Development and Strategic Partnership for the State of Washington Tourism. And welcome to our webinar on the Technical Assistance Grant. This grant is designed to help your community get the expertise you need to support a specific project. First, I want to give credit to the Washington State Department of Commerce, who awarded SWT with a $3.5 million Destination Planning and Development Grant. This program provides the funding for this grant and all of our grant programs to come this year and next. So a big thank you to Commerce for their confidence in SWT. So here is our agenda today. First, I'm going to give an overview of the Technical Assistance Grant, and then I'll turn it over to our Destination Development Coordinator, Tamara, who will show you how to apply on our new grant management platform. And finally, I'll give you a little overview of our budget document, just so for those of you who've kind of been through the several webinars already, that last part might be a bit repetitive, but if you're new to the process, you'll certainly want to stay on and learn how to apply. As always, we should have plenty of time at the end to answer any questions, maybe a couple times throughout the presentation. So I'll keep an eye on the chat. Don't forget to use the Q&A button right next to the chat there. That's where you can ask questions. And just so you know, this webinar is being recorded. I know I can talk fast, but we'll send a link out to you so you can review this recording at your own leisure. So let's go ahead and get started with the overview. This grant will subsidize the cost of industry-specific expertise for tourism-related projects that can stimulate economic development for destination communities. This grant can help fund a variety of projects, including but not limited to the ones here on this list, like workforce training, agritourism, bike tourism, outdoor recreation, scenic byways, that sort of thing. Applicants must be a Washington-based business and be one of the following: a local government, a tribe, chamber of commerce, destination organization, or some other nonprofit organization that supports travel and tourism. Please remember, we're not allowed to give grant money to private business. Here are the key program dates. The application period opens April 5th, runs for a full month, and then we will have about a month to go through the selection process, and we'll let the successful applicants know. Please note that some of these dates are approximate. This money does come from it's EDA money from the federal government that goes to Commerce, that comes to us. And so the money really needs to wind through Commerce and up to us to get to you. So we will try to hit those dates as best possible, but just know that they're approximate there for a reason. Up to $15,000 will be awarded for each grant. Matching funds are encouraged, but not necessarily required. And we have $75,000 total for this program. There's a little typo there. One other thing you should note is that if you apply for this grant, you're not precluded from applying to any of our other grants. You can apply to more than one. Though it's not necessarily in our grant criteria, we definitely love to see collaboration with other stakeholders, including your DMOs, chambers, tribes, local governments, and land managers. Especially for, if you have destination marketing organizations, if you are coming from a specific area that has that DMO, we really like to see that you are working with them in your application and in the process. We also want to see commitment to DEI. That's always a part of our criteria. Rules around federal funding. As I've mentioned before, this money is federal grant money. So there are more stringent rules on the money than we've previously given out. First of all, when we're using federal grant dollars, they are federal grant dollars all the way from the feds through Commerce, through us, to you, until they hit whatever business or subcontractor you use. So rules don't change for us, and they aren't our rules. So please keep that in mind. First of all, you and any subcontractor you use will need a UEI number, an activated UEI number, not just the number. You can acquire that for free at sam.gov. A link will be provided on your application, but it does take a while to go through sometimes. So don't dilly dally with that. Just go ahead and get your UEI number. And as Tamara will explain to you later on, once you have your number, you also have to make sure it's activated because that's part of it. Your subcontractors must be billed on a reimbursement basis. We're going to actually pay you up front, but you need to pay them after they've done the work and send you an invoice. Every dollar spent needs a receipt. We will provide you with a reporting template, but you really need to track every dollar on this grant. Finally, dollars cannot be used for staff salaries. If you are hiring somebody like a consultant, it needs to be somebody from outside of your organization. It's got to be somebody legit. It can't just be like your uncle or marketing person. It's got to be somebody, an outside contractor. Once you submit your application, a grant review committee will score it based on the criteria listed here. Providing, obviously, you want to provide a detailed proposal of the technical assistance you are seeking. Please provide a timeline, budget summary, partners, and all other relevant information. Tell us how this grant project will support travel and tourism in your community. Please remember, we've had a few grant or applicants, kind of forget that this is all about tourism. It's all about bringing people to your destination. And so just make sure you're keeping that in mind. Provide a statement of need for this grant project in your destination community. Like why does your community specifically need this grant money? How does the grant project incorporate safety, security, accessibility, and inclusion? What kind of match funding will be available for this project? And then how will you comply with all reporting requirements? So I'm gonna stop there, and I know probably some of you have some questions. And so let me just look at this Q&A real quick. Can this contractor be a grant writer? Yes, I don't see why you couldn't. You could be a grant writer, I guess so. Let me look at the chat really quick. Okay, great. So I'm going to now turn it over to Tamara Rice. And can this grant go toward a singular event? Yes, as long as you are paying a contractor to go to that. That's what it's for. Okay, I'm going to turn it over to Tamara, who will now share her screen and take over.
Hi there, Mike. Thank you. Hi, everybody. So yeah, first of all, I want to tell you where you can find the grant application. You'll be able to find it on our industry website at the grant landing page, and it will be available. Let's see, I think this grant opens up on April 15th, so it'll be available on that date. And I'll share my screen with you here. There we go. All right. So the first thing you'll see is the grant program information. And so this covers a lot of the same information that Mike just went over and a bit extra. It has some resources on here that will be very helpful for you. So there's the application timeline, and there's the eligible project segments here, and stipulations for working with contractors. Some resources here for you that are very important to look at regarding working with your contractors, the reporting requirements, and also we'll have a link here for your FAQ for this grant program and the application portal FAQ. The recording info session from this webinar today will also be included in my contact information. So the next thing is you will click on apply, and you'll need to set up a new user account if you haven't already done that. The email address that you use here will receive a 6-digit passcode that you will enter in at the next screen. So I already have an account set up. And so the next thing you'll do is you'll want to create your new organization. Please ignore the area here with a little blue check mark that asks if you are a 501c3. This is not something that SWT is using. So go to the area, the box right above the back button to create new organization. And actually, I already have an organization created. So this is the information that you will be entering your organization's legal name, your EIN number, your unique entity ID or UEI, active registered number. Again, go to sam.gov and look up your UEI number, make sure that it is registered. If not, go ahead and start that process as soon as possible. From what I'm hearing from folks, it's taking about 7 to 10 days for it to be active and for you to receive your confirmation that it's an active registered UEI number. The UBI number is also needed, and your organization's mailing address, the primary contact. Additional organization contacts would be great. If for some reason you don't have them, go ahead and put NA in these two required fields here. Do you work with a destination marketing organization? Go ahead and enter that information here. We'll go ahead and save that and go forward. So next, it's time for the eligibility check. There's two questions here. Does your organization reside in Washington? And are you a for-profit business? Like Mike said, for-profit businesses are not eligible to apply for this grant. So I'm going to go ahead and click no and eligibility, and I'm eligible. I'm in. So I'll start applying. So we go ahead and look here at the application. You'll see the three little heads up here, profiles. You click on that and you can add collaborators here. Just keep in mind that you always need to have a lead applicant. And we'll go to the project information. We'll be collecting your project title, the grant amount requested. The maximum amount for this grant is $15,000. The estimated total cost of your project and your project category. Let's see here. Select the region. You can select more than one region here. And we'll go to next. So then we lead into the application questions here. You'll see this first question has an 800-word maximum. And then we have several other questions for you to answer with maximum words of 400. The supporting documents that you'll need is your EIN verification determination letter. Here's information, a phone number here if you need to, if for some reason you've lost your determination letter, cannot locate it, please contact this number right away and get that coming. You'll also need your UEI registration confirmation. It will need to show your expiration date of the active registered UEI number. We also have information here on where to find if your UBI number is active. We would like you to upload your business license, your current business license. We'll also need your W-9 form, and the grant applicant budget template is located here too. So all of these things will be uploaded here. Your organization annual budget information and your organization's annual marketing budget. Now we just need round numbers here only. We don't need a spreadsheet or anything like that. Pretty simplified. We'll need your legislative district information for your organization's location, and here's the district finder link here. If you have more than one legislative district, just go ahead and enter those in here with a comma in between. And optional documents, any additional information that would help our review committee. And letters of recommendation are not required, but they are encouraged. You can upload up to 3 references and letters of recommendation here. And finally, we're at the applications agreement and signature. So we do want to remind you that this is not a contract. It's actually you're agreeing to the criteria of this grant program and that you have completed it with integrity and accuracy. So if you are a finalist for this grant, you will receive a contract to sign. And so we go ahead and save this and exit the section. And I want to point out, please review, get a second set of eyes on this application, make sure it's correct, make sure your EIN, UBI, UEI numbers are all correct in there and you've uploaded the correct information, because once you submit it, you are not able to edit it. If I see there's something in the supporting documents that needs a revision and I have time, I will send that right back to you to get a revision correction on it. And so we'll go ahead and go to submit. Of course, mine is not going to allow me to submit because I have so many empty fields here. But if you are submitting it, you will receive a confirmation email and also a confirmation message. So I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing now. And I'm just looking to see if I've left anything else off here. Please reach out to me if you have any questions, and I'm trying to get back to you as quickly as possible.
All right.
Mike,
There are a couple of questions that you can help with here.
okay.
Is the UEI number something that needs to be renewed annually, or is it a one-time registration and fee?
Great question. It does need to be renewed annually. So when you are looking up your entity's active registration information, make sure that it is not expired or that it's not expiring soon. And if it is, make sure you get in there and renew it.
Right. And there's no fee involved, right?
No, there's not any fee.
Okay. So does this need to be for a specific project, or can it go into the general operating costs to help with the mission? No, it needs to be a specific project. And remember, it can't go to your general operating costs. You need this money is for you to hire a consultant or contractor to help you with a specific project. That's the idea behind this this grant. Does the technical assistance need to be centered around one specific project or just a general tourism effort? And again, I'd say a specific project. It's really to help you if you have a specific idea, like a you want to start an agritourism program, or you want to start, something with bike trails, or you want to do a CMP for your scenic byways. It's really to help you bring in an expert to help you with a specific project. I want to put on a South Kitsap Brew Fest. If you are looking for somebody to help you set that up, that consultant could I guess do that. One other thing you should know: later on this year, we will have our tourism regeneration grant, which is a much broader scope. It's a much broader thing. This is really for a specific technical assistance. All regions in the state of Washington are eligible. The funds need to be expended by about 1 year after you get the money. So you have a full year to expend the funds. Could this be used for experts on designing a trail map for the area? Yes, I think that would be just fine. Okay, let's see if we've got anything in the chat here. We want to do a maritime heritage trails on the Sound. Okay, I mean, again, if you're hiring an expert to do to help you put together a trail map, that makes sense. You should work with the maritime heritage folks. We're interested in establishing a regional brand versus just one for our primary town. Could this be used for a branding project to help get that established? This branding will be leveraged for all future collateral and region. And yes, like building a brand is a project. It's a big project. I've been through it. So, and if you were hiring, somebody to help you do that, I think that would be appropriate. Does this need to be for a new project or helping an existing one? There's no. I don't think it matters. You can. It could be an existing one as long as you're bringing in a consultant to help you with a project. Can this go to a marketing consultant for a project? Yes. Okay, I think that covers all the questions that I see. Oh, can you explain any consultant selection hiring requirements, Andy? Yes, and a lot of this is in the FAQ and it's in some of our documents. The procurement requirements are different depending on the thresholds of funding. So if you're paying somebody more than $10,000, you need to wait until you get the money, and then you need to collect at least 3 bids, and then select, the contractor you're going with and let us know. If it's under $10,000, you don't have to have three bids. You just have to make sure that you're able to justify, hiring who it is. If it's over $30,000, what's the caveat there, Tamara?
Over $30,000, 40,000 if you're using a certified small business or veteran-owned business.
Right.
Is that
If over that threshold, there's a whole other procurement process you have to, but it's all outlined in writing. Okay, I'm in the EV car share industry. We like to use this grant to put vehicles in the trailhead community. Are we eligible for this grant to do that? I like the idea, and you are a nonprofit. That's what I was going to ask you, Beza. If you're a nonprofit, um, I love this idea. I'm not sure this is the right grant for you, because this again is for you to hire a consultant, to help you with expertise. So I'm not sure how that would work. But again, I would encourage you to look at all of our grants because we have lots of different grants here, and we have the big one coming in late summer, early fall. Tamara, do you mind putting the? Okay, actually, it's in the chat there, guys. From Tamara, Industry State of Washington Tourism.com, SWT grant programs. Click on that link and you can learn all about our different grant programs. All right. Is a bid requirement based on the total project cost of the grant amount? That's a good question, Andy. It's the grant amount. So how much, if more than $10,000 or $10,000 or more of grant money is going towards the project, then you would be, that bid requirement would be part of it.
Mike,
All right,
would you
guys,
like
thank
me,
you. Go
would you
ahead.
like me to share the budget spreadsheet?
Oh yeah, budget spreadsheet. No, I'll do it. Sorry,
Okay.
I got ahead of myself. Okay, guys, this is the budget. This will go along with your bid or with your proposal. We just wanted to kind of explain this because we've had lots of questions. So when you're doing your budget, you're not putting in specific people that you're using because remember you haven't selected anybody yet. You're putting in the activity and what the scope of work in that activity, and then the total tourism grant expense. So how much grant money would be going into this project? How much of your own money, the grantee expense, would be going into the project? And then if there's any in kind, if they're like saying, "Hey, we're going to charge you, half of what we normally charge you," that would be an in kind expense. And so you put that here, and then the totals up. So that's we just want to make sure we're explaining that. Okay, let's see. There's a few more questions. Looks like. Okay, Robert asks, hiring a signage maker, historian, canoe guides, grant writer, program manager. They all sound like consultants to me. So I think that would be eligible. Okay, I think we're through it. All right, guys. Thank you so much. And don't forget, if you have questions, you can always reach out to Tamara. She is your grant expert. And so, and you can always reach her at Tamara at stateofwatourism.com. And we'll be sending the link out to you later on. Thank you so much for joining us.